you swear affirm the testimony about to give the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Hello. Can you state your full name for the record and spell your last name since it's a little bit interesting?
Rachel Baklet, B-A-K-A-L-E-T-C.
All right, and Ms. Baklet, can you let the jury know where you're currently employed?
Yes, I'm currently employed with Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, TBI, as a special agent in the Digital Forensic Unit.
And when did you join TBI?
I joined TBI in September of 2024.
Where did you work before you joined the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation?
One place that I worked before Tennessee Bureau of Investigation was Chattanooga Police Department.
How long were you at the Chattanooga Police Department?
I was at Chattanooga Police Department for about 10 months.
What did you do before the Chattanooga Police Department?
I was a student at East Tennessee State University, where I got my bachelor's and master's degree in computer science.
Okay, so you went from the computer science degree to the Chattanooga Police Department in the Digital Forensics Unit.
That's correct.
Can you describe for the jury what, and you're currently in the Digital Forensic Unit at TBI as well, is that correct?
That's correct.
Can you explain to the jury what the Digital Forensics Unit is?
So the Digital Forensic Unit will download and extract data from digital devices. They'll also do things like get video and other types of digital evidence like that.
So what types of extractions would you commonly do for the Chattanooga Police Department when you were there?
So some of the types of extractions I would do would be SIM cards, mobile phones, sometimes tablets, and occasionally we do computers, laptops, desktops.
Would you do extractions at the request of an investigator?
That's correct. All of our downloads were worked as part of requests for different investigations.
Do you recall being involved at all in the case of State of Tennessee versus Jason Chen?
Yes, I do. That's correct.
Were you asked by the lead investigator to review any type of digital evidence in that case?
Yes, I was asked to review the SIM card for that case.
All right. I'm going to hand you what's already been labeled Exhibit 166. See, do you recognize that?
Yes, I recognize that.
What is that?
That is the evidence bag that contained the SIM card that I was requested to process.
Your Honor, I'm sorry. Can I have DVD? And did you get that item out of property?
Yes, I got the item out of property at Chattanooga Police.
And so explain that to the jury. When an investigator asks you to do something, what's your next step?
So when the investigator makes the initial request to digitally examine a device or item, we would then go to the property department at Chattanooga Police and sign out or check out the item, take it back to the lab and process the item as requested.
Did you do that in this case with the item in front of you?
Yes, that's correct.
Is there any record on the item in front of you that you have checked that out and opened it to review its belongings, its content?
Yes, that's correct.
Can you tell the jury what that is?
So what that would be a report that was generated from the forensic examination and the downloading of the item, which was the SIM card.
I'm sorry, Agent. I meant actually on the physical bag there. Is there anything that represents that you have opened that and
So sorry.
I know it's okay, reviewed its contents?
Yes, my initials on the evidence tape would indicate that I opened the item for some reason and then closed the item and sealed it back with evidence tape.
Is that typical in the CPD protocol to initial when you've opened a piece of evidence?
Yes, that's correct.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
We do initial when we seal the piece of evidence back.
And are your initials on that bag?
Yes, they are.
Okay, and then so now let's go to the report. So did you review what's in the contents of this bag?
Yes.
And what is it?
It is a SIM card.
Okay, and when you review a SIM card, what do you do with it?
When we review the SIM cards, We'll typically plug them, so we'll start a program and we'll plug a adapter up to a computer. And the program will forensically extract and download the data that's on the device. In this case, it was a SIM card.
I'm going to show you what's already been marked as State's Exhibit 167. Do you recognize that photo?
Yes,
What is that?
that is the SIM card that was requested to examine and download.
Is it in that bag in front of you? Well, was it in that bag?
Yes.
Okay, and will you turn around and look at the screen for me? Is that the same photo that you have in your hand?
Yes.
What do those numbers represent on a SIM card like that?
Those numbers are the ICC ID, and they just represent the unique value that is assigned to that specific SIM card.
Is it almost like a VIN number for a vehicle?
It's similar to that, yes.
When you examine digital evidence like this for an investigator, do you issue a report?
That's correct. We do write a report for any item that comes through our lab.
And did you do that in this case?
Yes, I did.
Also, when you insert the SIM card into your program, does the program actually generate a report about that SIM card as well?
Yes, the program will generate a report about the item.
Did that happen in this case?
Yes, it did.
Show you two documents. You'll just take a look at them. Do you recognize those documents?
Yes.
The one that's in your hand right now, what is that?
This is the report that would be generated from our program, and this would then be printed off.
Okay, and then the next one?
This is the report that I wrote about the contents of the SIM card, what happened during the processing of the SIM card. This is for the investigator to kind of just have a summary of what happened with the item.
And did you give that to the lead investigator in this case?
Yes.
Your Honor, I'd ask that these be moved into evidence as next to exhibit. I'll write them on there, someone.
Exhibit 200 and 201.
Okay. 200 will be your report. 201 will be the extraction report. So I'll show you on the screen behind you. Exhibit 200, is this your report that you would have delivered to Investigator Crawford?
Yes.
And can you, there's a laser here. I'll use the laser and I'll ask you the questions about it. So what is this identifier number?
So that identifier number is the ICC ID. That's going to be the same number that is printed physically on the SIM card that we can see. And that is just the unique number that's identifying that specific SIM card.
So that would be the same number as here,
That's correct.
correct? Okay. And then what does this indicate?
That number is going to indicate the phone number that was extracted off of the SIM card.
Does that mean that that's the phone number that is directly connected with that SIM card?
That's correct.
And then provider?
The provider is just going to be the cellular network provider, so something like Verizon or T-Mobile, that also comes directly from the SIM card.
Okay, and is this the examination report that is generated from the download itself into the program?
Yes.
Okay, and ICC ID, again, what is that?
That is the unique number that is printed physically on the SIM card. That's just identifying the specific SIM card.
And that's the same number from your report, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, and then down here, parameter name and number, what does that represent?
That's just going to represent the unique phone number that is connected to the SIM card. And that was forensically extracted from the SIM card.
So that SIM card belongs to the phone number 423-664-2024.
That's correct.
Nothing further, Judge.
No questions.
Jury have any questions, Mrs. Baklet? Ms. Baklet, thanks for dropping in.
Thanks so much.
Any more witnesses tonight, Jimmy?
No.
Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's about 6:20. We went over a little bit today, but we needed to get to the witnesses who were only available for today.